Round donuts with a hole in the middle, coated in a sweet layer of sugar and topped with all sorts of eye-catching decorations, are always hard to look away from. They're not just visually appealing, donuts are also a quick and convenient breakfast option. In the US alone, people consume around 10 billion donuts every year, a number that shows just how irresistible they are. But have you ever wondered how donuts are actually made? In this video, we'll take a look behind the scenes at how one of the world's favorite desserts is produced in factory stores that supply a network of 25,000 locations across the United States. Donuts originate in 1847, invented by an American sailor named Hanson Gregory. While frying dough, he noticed that the center of the pastry often remained raw while the edges cooked through. To fix this, he used a pepper shaker lid to punch a hole in the middle of the dough before frying it. This simple yet clever idea helped the dough cook more evenly and made the donut easier to prepare. That's how the familiar donut shape we know today, round with a hole in the center, came to be. By the 20th century, donuts had become increasingly popular, especially in the United States. A major milestone in their evolution was the invention of the first automatic donut-making machine in 1920. From the 1960s onward, production technology kept advancing and expanding. Today, modern production lines, powered by computer-controlled machinery, can produce up to 3,000 donuts per hour. From start to finish, a batch of donuts takes about 1 hour to complete. Places that both produce and sell these donuts on the site are called factory stores, where customers can not only buy fresh donuts but also watch the entire production process in action. From start to finish, a batch of donuts takes about 1 hour to complete at Krispy Kreme's factory store. Ingredients arrive in large bags, and the production process begins with preparing a special dough mix. This is the key to creating the donut's light, airy texture and the perfect balance of sweetness and softness. The dough mixture includes several main ingredients: yeasted flour, which gives the donut its structure; sugar, which not only adds sweetness but also aids in fermentation; yeast, which helps the dough rise and become fluffy; powdered milk, which enhances flavor and improves texture; eggs, which add richness and help bind everything together; vegetable oil, which keeps the donuts soft and prevents them from drying out; salt to balance the overall flavor; and water, which activates the yeast and brings all the ingredients together. All of these are loaded into large industrial mixers where they're blended in precise ratios. Throughout the mixing process, the dough's temperature must be carefully controlled. It's mixed at high speed for several minutes until it becomes smooth and uniform. This is also when gluten starts to develop, giving the dough its elasticity. The machinery is programmed to ensure the dough always reaches the perfect consistency. If it's too runny, the donuts won't hold their shape. If it's too dense, they'll turn out tough and unappetizing. Staff members check the dough's texture to make sure it's just right, not too sticky and not too dry. Once mixing is complete, the dough is poured into a large hopper and left to rest for about 10 minutes. This resting period allows the yeast to begin activating, the flavors to develop, and the dough's structure to stabilize. As a result, the dough becomes more elastic and easier to handle before moving on to the shaping. Music. Stage the dough, then begins its exciting journey along the factory's conveyor system. To maintain hygiene and prevent the dough from sticking to the surface, the conveyor belts are lightly dusted with dry flour, creating a soft cushion for the dough to travel on. The dough moves through a series of continuously rotating rollers where it's flattened multiple times to reach the ideal thickness. Just like the conveyor belts, the rollers are also coated with dry flour to ensure a smooth rolling process without any sticking or disruptions. Under the rhythmic pressure of the rollers, the dough gradually stretches out, forming long, smooth sheets that resemble soft, flowing ribbons. The dough sheet moves onto a shaping conveyor. Here, an automated cutter repeatedly presses down to form perfectly round donuts with the signature hole in the center. Each cut needs to be sharp and precise to ensure every donut has a uniform, flawless shape. With each press, the cutter produces 6 donuts at once. speeding up the production process and ensuring consistent sizing across every piece. A small round piece of dough from the center is removed to make the hole. This part, along with any extra dough left over from the cutting process, is automatically separated. The hole in the middle isn't just a visual trademark of the donut. It also plays a key role in helping the donut cook evenly during frying. Without it, the center would likely remain undercooked. The leftover dough isn't wasted. It's collected and recycled back into the next batch, helping reduce ingredient waste and making the production process more efficient. After being shaped, the donuts continue their journey into the proofing chamber. Here, they are placed on automatic conveyor trays that move up and down continuously for over 30 minutes. During this time, a warm, humid air system fills the chamber, creating ideal conditions for the yeast to activate. Yeast, a type of microorganism, begins to consume the sugar in the dough when it encounters the right temperature and humidity. As it does, it produces carbon dioxide. This gas gets trapped inside the dough, forming tiny air bubbles that cause the donuts to expand and become lighter. As a result, the texture of the donut becomes noticeably softer and fluffier. Throughout this process, the trays stay level to prevent the dough from falling or collapsing. Once the donuts are done proofing, they move on to the fryer, which is made of stainless steel. Here they float on the surface of hot, bubbling oil. Thanks to the proofing process, the donuts are filled with air, allowing them to naturally float while cooking in the oil. The oil used is canola oil, which is ideal for frying because it can withstand high temperatures. The temperatures are maintained without breaking down. Each fryer holds about 130 gallons of oil, and beneath it is a constant heating system that maintains a stable temperature to ensure the donuts are evenly cooked. Frying one side for about 45 seconds, the donut reaches a rotating arm, an automatic mechanism that flips the donut to cook the other side. After another 45 seconds, the donut is perfectly cooked and slowly lifted out of the hot oil. At this point, you can clearly see its golden brown, appetizing crust. After frying, the donuts are left to drain off any excess oil. Once the donuts are fully fried and drained, they're immediately coated with a layer of sugar glaze while still warm. This helps the glaze stick evenly and cling smoothly to the surface, creating that signature glossy look and sweet flavor. The donuts pass under a curtain of flowing glaze, where each one is fully coated in a thin, even layer. The goal is to make sure every donut is glazed consistently. The glaze mixture, primarily made from sugar, water, and milk, is carefully formulated to have the perfect consistency. It's kept warm during the glazing process to ensure it stays smooth, easy to apply, and free of clumps. Beneath the conveyor is a glaze basin where the mixture is continuously pumped up to create the waterfall effect that coats the donuts. Any excess glaze that drips off is collected, filtered, and reused for the next batch, minimizing waste. After passing through the glazed curtain, the donuts travel across a gently vibrating conveyor. This stage helps shake off any excess glaze, preventing it from pooling at the bottom and keeping the finish clean and uniform. The donuts are then neatly stacked onto multi-tiered mesh carts, which allow air to circulate and help the glaze set and dry completely. If the process ends here, you've got the classic donut, soft and fluffy on the inside, coated in a shiny, sweet glaze on the outside. A familiar and beloved treat. These donuts are then boxed up for distribution or placed in display cases ready for hungry customers, and if you're lucky, you might get to enjoy one fresh and warm straight from the factory store where it was just made. For those who aren't big fans of... For you, after being fried and drained, the donuts are removed and placed onto racks, each holding about 24 donuts. Instead of being glazed, these donuts are flavored in a different way. Each one is flipped upside down and dipped by hand into various delicious coatings like chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, or other special toppings. To finish off their eye-catching look, a colorful layer of sprinkles is added to the tops. These tiny, vibrant bits aren't just for decoration. They add a playful, cheerful vibe that makes the donuts even more appealing, especially to kids who are huge fans of these fun, tasty treats. Today, donuts go far beyond the traditional glazed version. They become a limitless creative playground for bakers. Depending on personal style and flavor preferences, donuts can come in all kinds of unique variations, from refreshing matcha, sweet and salty caramel, and bold coffee flavors to rich and creamy cheese. Some donuts even have surprise fillings inside, like custard, fruit jam, gooey chocolate, or peanut butter. Each donut isn't just a snack, it's a small, edible creation that reflects the creativity, personality, and aesthetic taste of the person who made it. And that's the full process behind making the classic donuts we all know and love. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with anyone you think might enjoy it. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.